Hello and welcome everyone. So today we will be discussing the complete form filling procedure for your SNAP 2026. The form registration has opened on 21st of August and we will be dealing with each and every step. So I want to highlight a couple of things. First, I want to tell you guys that we will be covering each and every step of the way, whatever the procedure, whatever the things are required for your form filling. But in case if you have any sorts of doubts, please feel free to comment them below and we will try to answer each and every one of them. Okay, second thing I want to highlight is there could be some sort of confusion because here you have to essentially pay 2 times. Okay, so what does that mean? First of all, you have to register for your dates that you are choosing. After you do that, you have to pay for the dates. Okay, there will be 3 dates that would be provided. You can choose 1, 2, or 3 of them and then you pay for them. After you have made the payment, again the form would open up and then you can fill further information and choose the institutes that you want to apply for. For each institute that you apply for, there is a certain fee. So again, you will have to finally pay for the institutes. So in that way, we have to pay twice and the real form filling starts after you have picked your dates and paid for your chosen dates. Okay, so to clarify any confusion, I added that. Let's delve in. So these are the important dates. Okay, so first of all, the registration process will close on November 25th, 2026. So you still have time that is there. Timings, the exact timings of the test would be communicated whenever your SNAP admit card would be there. Okay, so for SNAP 1, you will receive the admit card on December 7. For SNAP 2, you will receive the card on December 11. And for SNAP 3, you will receive the admit card on December 18. Okay, now these are the dates for your computer-based test. So you can choose 1, 2, or 3 of them. Ideally, it's recommended that you choose more than one because there is no normalization process. In whichever exam you score the highest, that score is considered. And in the past years, it has been observed that the exams were of varying difficulty. So it would be good if you give all of them or most of them or 2 of them at least, so that there is a balance of difficulty as well. And since there is no normalization, it is going to benefit you all. So the first SNAP exam would be on December 13. The second one is on December 19. The third one is on December 26. And the result would be announced on January 12, 2027. So this is all about the important dates. Okay, now we can move on to the process. So when you go to the site, this is what would appear to you. Okay, so SNAP ID or email ID, password, and this is the captcha. Now this you have to fill only if you have registered for the exam, right? Since you have not registered, we are all fresh candidates applying for the first time in this year. We have to register from here. This blue register thing we click and then we register. Okay, and all the details you can read from here as well. So these are the links. If you want to see the dates, if you want to see the list of cities, if you want to see the procedure, the registration form opens from here, the payment instructions, etc. If you want any specific information, you can just click on the links. Okay, so we will click on register and then we move on. Okay, so when you open the register button, this is what opens up in front of you. So first you put in your name, that's it. You put in your date of birth. It is very important that your name matches with your 10th or 12th mark sheet. So sometimes there is a name discrepancy in your Aadhaar and in your mark sheets, but here they have clearly written they want the name which is mentioned in your 10th or 12th mark sheet. So please use that name. Please use the same date of birth which is on your mark sheet. Then you provide a valid mobile number. Please provide an active mobile number which you are using so that communication becomes easy and it's in your hands. So you provide the mobile number. Later the OTP will come on that to verify. You give your primary email. Again, I would say the same thing. Please make sure your mobile number and emails are consistent throughout so that there is no discrepancy, and these are your primary email and mobile numbers. So all the information is consolidated and easy to see whenever you have. since you're paying for the exam, make sure the information and OTPs and everything is very, very accessible. Okay, then you retype your primary email here. Now, category you have to choose. So there are SIMS institutes. So SIMS institute are different institutes of Symbiosis. There are many colleges, okay? So this is basically mainly for defense people. So apart from that, you choose your category because they have a different procedure for defense people. Right now, we are dealing with normal domestic candidates. So we can choose our category from here. Are you an NRI candidate? Of course, we are dealing with the domestic candidate. So we click on no and we move ahead and we choose our nationality as whatever it is. Okay. If you choose yes in an NRI candidate, another pop-up would open up and you will have to fill the form differently. But since the filling video is for the domestic candidates, we move on. So all this basic information. Other point I want to add that this form is fairly simple. You don't need to put in a lot of pictures of your Aadhaar signature. You just need to put in your photograph. You just need to give your basic details. So it's fairly simple. Okay. Now we have all these options. Okay, these are the exam dates you have to select. These are the fixed dates where the 3 SNAP exams would happen. Again, I would reiterate, you can select more than one date. Another point I want to reiterate is, of course, you will select at least one. That is how you move ahead. That is the point of the entire form. But if you choose to select more dates later, you will be provided an option to do so as well. Right now, if you have not made your mind, you can choose one date and move on. Okay. Or if you choose to change your mind later, you can choose more dates. You can add more dates. What you cannot do is you cannot subtract the dates. Suppose you have chosen 2 dates today and later on you want to eliminate one of the attempt, it won't be eliminated. The fee would have been deducted. It would not be returned. You can choose not to give the exam, but you will not get the money back. So you can add the dates later, but you cannot subtract or change them. These are the fixed dates, okay? So you can choose the dates, you can choose the city. If you are working somewhere, if you are in college, and if you are planning to go back to your home to give the exam, please plan it and think it accordingly and choose your cities where you want to give the exam, where you want to appear for the exam, okay? Now here you have to upload your current passport size photo. These are the formats and the size should be between 10 KB to 5 MB. So just basic instructions, please do this much. Okay, nothing much is required as of now. Then you get the option, only this much you do, you choose the city, you choose the dates for now. You can add more dates later if you plan to. It is recommended that you give more than one attempt so that normalization is not there, and difficulty levels, if one paper comes tough, another comes easy, there is a balance, okay? Okay, so now you just verify, you can click on this and then you can save and continue. This was for your test dates and centers. Now the payment portal opens up. Please guys, do not think that this is the entire form. This is not. For now, you have just provided your name, email and phone number and you have chosen the date for the exam. Here you have all these little details. Here you have to make the payment. Since this candidate has chosen one date, he has to pay 2,550 rupees. And if you choose 2 programs, it becomes into 2. If you choose 3 programs, it becomes into 3. So you have to pay sooner or later, whatever your decision is. You can go ahead while choosing one program and can add one date and can add later as well. Okay. So this much is done. Now the payment was successful. You will have net banking, credit, debit card options. Mostly they accept the cards only. So you can do that and now you can continue. Okay. Okay. So once you continue, this comes up. You have to confirm these details. Your name, your DOB, your category, your email ID, your test city which you have chosen. So since you have chosen for the first attempt only, you will confirm the one test city. If you have chosen for more, you just confirm that and you click on OK. You confirmed these details. Now the second part opens up wherein you fill in more details and you apply for the specific colleges. Okay. Okay. Now, once this happens, that you will be shown that an OTP would be sent to your registered mobile number. You will enter the OTP, you will submit it, okay? Now this thing opens up. Here you have to set your password. Please look at the instructions for setting the password very carefully. Mostly they need one block letter, they need one of the symbols, and spaces are not permitted, minimum 6 characters. So think of a password, make it, okay, confirm it, everything you can do, and then please note it down, okay? Please note it down somewhere so that you remember it for the future reference. The current password would be the one which would be given on your mail so that you can log in again and apply to for the exam. You have to change your password also. This also pops up. So you can just save and continue this, okay? Now your entire this profile would open up. Whatever you had filled would open up, okay? Now you have your snap id as well. Why do you have your snap id? Because you have already paid for the exam. You have paid for the exam, not for the institute. For the institute, now later you would be asked. So that is why you have a snap id. It can be used to log in also. Now you have already filled in your applicant name, these basic details. So these will show up, okay? Again, these things open up. So this much we had already filled before. Now the remaining form opens up after you have paid and done all this process. So first question comes, work experience details. Do you have it? If you do, you click on yes. And those would be like one question only they ask, that what is the duration? And if you don't, you just click on no. They don't ask a lot of details as of now. Your educational details, they just ask your 10th marks, your 12th marks, and your highest qualification. Okay, now this opens up. You enter your 10th marks in percentage, 12th marks in percentage. So if you have a CGPA system in your class 10th, then you can just look into the format which your board prescribes to convert CGPA into percentage and put it accordingly, because you have to enter the percentage. You select your highest qualification, you select the type of the degree that you pursued. Everything can be seen from this drop down. Your UG qualifying degree, what degree was it? And you just enter the name of the institute or the college you pursued UG from. So this was about your educational detail, nothing much, not a lot of details, only this much. Okay, now after you have filled in your UG university name, when you go ahead, you see the programs that you are applying to. Guys, one thing I want to highlight, they have a brochure, okay? So please go through the brochure. It's quite a lengthy brochure. If you want to go through the brochure, please go through it to understand what these programs are. If you have already decided wherein you want to apply, you can choose that and move ahead. Again, an option to add more programs would also be provided to you later. As of now, for one college, they had asked 1,000 rupees. So you can choose accordingly whichever colleges you want to apply to as of now. Later, changes can be made. You cannot essentially remove the college or essentially remove the choice you have already paid for, but you can definitely add. In the brochure, you will get the details. In the brochure, you will also understand the qualification. Okay, so for some of these programs, BTech degree is, for example, needed. So if you had filled in a commerce degree, you won't be eligible. But the good thing is, if you choose a program where BTech is required and you are a commerce graduate, for example, so it would show the disclaimer that BTech is compulsory. So you don't have to necessarily go through all the information. It can be shown to you as well. But for you, if you want to know more, please go through the brochure on their site as well. Okay. So you can choose your college. For now, at least one college you have to choose. You cannot simply choose for the exam and move ahead. You have to choose at least one college for now. So suppose this particular candidate had chosen one college. So now this address comes up. Whatever your correspondence address you want it to be, it's not necessarily your Aadhaar address. Although it's recommended that please put in your Aadhaar address only so that there is no confusion, but you can put in your correspondence address. you give your alternate email and you retype your alternate email as well. Okay, now this comes up that you had chosen these SNAP options, you had chosen this particular city, you had already paid for it. You can choose again if you want to, because another round of payment would be performed. And if you want to choose later, you can come back and you will be provided a window to choose to appear for more exam later as well. But as of now, this another time, this option also comes up. Since we are sticking on one, this is the date we have chosen and this is the test city. Okay. For Symbiosis Dubai's program, you can read about it and you can choose to apply if you want to. Okay. Another time you have to upload your passport picture, which you can do. The same information is there that these are the formats and this is the size that is needed. You can save and continue. Okay. So this much we had already filled in. This form's work experience detail. In work experience detail, if you choose yes, this simply asks you the amount of months you have worked for. They do not ask for details of your company, etc. Only one question they ask, the amount of months. So that much you can do clearly. Okay. Now once all this has been done, it shows up that you have chosen for SNAP test 1 on this particular date. The charges were this, and you have already paid through internet banking because this was the first step and we completed it. Now you have chosen, suppose, this one program and you have to pay 1,000 for it. It is not yet paid, and the last date of the payment also they are showing that this is the last date you can choose to pay for the exam. Mostly it's recommended for at least one exam. Since you're filling the form already, just pick one exam and pay for it. You can of course add later and make changes. You can add more exam dates. You can also add more colleges if you feel so. If you are in a pickle, if you have not yet decided, so you always have the option to come back and pay later or apply for more programs later, since the last date to apply is December 31. So you can do that. But since this particular student has already chosen one program, another time this will click here to pay would come. This payment is done, so now you will have to essentially pay 1,000 rupees more. So once you go through the payment process of credit debit card and you put in your details, it would be flashed that this transaction, this is the transaction for the 1,000 rupees, which was for the college we had picked. It would be done. You can click to continue. You will also receive a receipt number. So this, as we can see, this was the payment details. This was the payment portal. This is how it will look like. So you can do that. Then finally it would show up that you chose for this particular institute and this is how you have paid for it. So it would finally show whatever you have chosen, whatever date you have chosen, whatever institute you have chosen, and it would show how much you have finally paid. So for one exam, it is 2,550 rupees. For one institute, it was 1,000 rupees. So it would basically show that, and it would tell the payment mode and the payment date. So this is the end of your form. Okay. Please remember the flexibility scenarios that you can choose for more dates later, and you would have time to apply later for more exam dates if you want to prepare, if you want to appear for more than once. And you can also add to your colleges. Since the last date was shown to be 31st December, all this information can be communicated to you. Right now, there is not much pressure to think a lot and make all the decisions quickly, but this was essentially the process. Please remember, you have to pay twice. You have to first pay for your exam center, and then the rest of the form opens up, and then you can choose your institute and finally pay. Now, this is the complete end of your form filling process. Again, if you want to add, you would have the chance and the choice to add, but you will have to make the payment again. That is there. I would like to add that if there are any doubts, please ask them in the comment section below. We'll try to answer each and every one of them. All the best and thank you.